Today on Community Cooking, we have guest chef Chris Brown in the kitchen, whipping up an amazing treat, putting a twist on cherry cobbler and calling it Cherry Chris Brown. You won't want to miss it. We're cooking with some of the best chefs from right here in our own community. So grab a seat, relax, we got another great show for you. This is your Community Cooking. Hello and welcome to Community Cooking. I am your host, Kirk Leins. In our kitchen today, back with me is Chef Chris Brown from Hey 19.
Hey, how are you?
And Ortega 120.
Yes, great to see you again.
Likewise, likewise. I'm still full from that meal that you made the last time you were here, which was awesome.
Thank you.
And today, you have brought for us an awesome dessert.
Yes, well, I figured since I gave you so much beef and pork last time, I figured I'd bring you something sweet this time.
Okay, and once again, the name of this dessert?
Cherry Chris Brown.
So did you really name a dessert after yourself? Is that what's going on here?
You know what? Every time someone comes to the restaurant and they ask about the Cherry Chris Brown, and they just assume I named it after myself, but actually it's the owner who gave the name.
This would be Debbie Stevens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Funny story about this dessert. Anytime she asks me to do something, come over, she needs help lifting something, or she just needs help with something in general, instead of writing me a check or give me a couple bucks, cash, I say, hey, why don't you make me a cherry cobbler? She made it for me one time, and I was just blown away. It was everything I ever wanted as a kid. It was nothing but butter and sugar and fat.
And you don't have to claim it on your taxes.
No, I don't. There you go, yeah. So
you claim it on your waistline, maybe, but not your taxes.
But anytime she needs anything, that's our currency. I said, okay, if it's a big task, full pan. Half task, half pan.
I love it.
And that's where the name came from.
And that's all we're doing today. And I love it. It's like, we're always so focused on the meal and the different aspects. We're throwing it down for dessert today.
Yes.
And this is something that, can be made at home fairly easily.
Easily. At least it's a lot of the stuff you can find at store. It's a lot of stuff is instant or ready to go.
Okay.
And that's the fun part. I mean, this is really simple. It's meant to be simple and delicious. It's not meant to be complicated and you get discouraged.
There's nothing wrong with simple and delicious.
Nothing wrong with simple and delicious. So.
Especially if you make the meal that you made the last time, the steak with the orzo. You know what? It's okay. Maybe making it a little easier in the dessert department.
Baking is a little more relaxed and laid back. It's not so high paced.
Okay, so I know this recipe has several components. Where do we start with?
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with the crust because we want to build it up.
Okay.
So as far as the dry part of it, the main part of it is anything. From the store, you can get any kind of instant cake or instant waffle pancake all in one, or any instant biscuit mix, anything like that. You're looking for something a clunky flour.
And it has the flour and it has the leavening in it. And it's already sorted the salt, all ready to go. Gotcha.
Because we said simple and delicious. So
right.
We want this to be convenient. Now, these two right here, this is a full 16 cups right here. I know it sounds like a lot.
Wait, 8 cups, right? That's 4 cups?
Oh, yeah, 8 cups. I'm sorry.
Still,
yes.
You're still
it looks like 16 cups. Good.
It may as well be. Oh, man.
Yeah, but because it's just you and me, I decided let's just go ahead and do half.
Okay.
I'll finish it. Okay.
All right.
So we're going to add our softened butter.
We've got the full recipe for you on the coming up here on the show. So,
okay.
And how much butter are we using?
We're going to use 3 pounds.
Whoa, for 3 pounds for the 4 cups.
Yep.
Wow, that's a lot of butter. That's going to mean it's going to taste good.
And then we're going to go ahead and add our almonds.
Okay.
These are just sliced almonds. Again, you can get from anywhere. They don't have to be toasted as well. I prefer for them not to be toasted.
Really?
Oh, we're going to put it in the oven so it'll get that toast nuttiness.
Gotcha. Okay.
And we're just going to go ahead and mix it around. This is a little messy, but it's fun.
It's all right. This is where you call the kids. And you're like, right?
Yes.
And I know you're a new dad, right?
Yes, I am.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Yeah, I think that's sort of the key with cooking with kids is finding sort of the age-appropriate things to do with them. I mean, obviously, you're not going to give them your chef's knife.
No, exactly.
Ask them to brulee something.
And this to keep them busy. Okay, so, this is really easy. I'd say you just want to mix it for a couple minutes.
Okay. And what are we looking for consistency-wise?
We're looking for, like, a soft dough feel. Something that you can spread in the bottom of a pan. So as long as it's not too dry, not too wet,
And you know
It's
what's
almost like a cookie dough. That makes sense.
okay. All right. And you know what's amazing too is like the measurements here have been fairly loose, and it's just sort of a testament to, how these boxed cake mixes and different instant mixes, how far they've come and how forgiving they are. I mean, it's pretty incredible that you can just kind of throw it together, put it in a pan, and this is going to do its thing.
I agree. Well, making cornbread at the restaurant is very time consuming, but at home, I just add milk and an egg.
I got you.
Yeah, it tastes just as good. So
I got you.
okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and also too. Normally, a point I want to point out is to make sure in the baking pan you have some kind of pan spray or butter. So if you can grab that pan and rub a little butter in there for me.
Absolutely. Well, we've got plenty here.
We have plenty of butter. Yeah.
We got to do this all over because we don't want any.
It keeps it from sticking. Yes.
Right. There we go. And this actually. Probably even easier to do it with some cooking spray.
Yes.
Just spray it in. Now, butter does make everything taste better.
And we have the butter, so why not use it?
We've got 3 pounds of butter. That's insane. But you know what? It's funny. I think that if most people, if they saw what especially like French pastry.
Yes.
Right. I mean, you've worked in plenty of French restaurants to know. To watch someone make like puff pastry and go, oh my goodness!
It's incredible.
You got butter, you got flour, and you got lots of both. And it's amazing how much butter goes into something like a puff pastry.
I remember our deliveries. It's unheard of for someone to say, "Oh, we need 10 cases of butter for a weekend."
Right.
400 pounds of butter for a weekend.
Oh my goodness! Wow. All right.
So that's perfect.
So you good there?
Yeah. So it has the texture of cookie dough. That's kind of what you're looking for.
All right.
And it has the almonds in there. So except for that crunch, I'm just gonna go ahead and put it in here, flatten it in here.
Actually, when I move this, that'll be easier.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so we're just making a bottom layer of this mixture.
Yes, exactly. So I think the best part, what I'm gonna do is kind of give my hand. I'm just putting it in here. Give my hands a rinse and grab a spoon and press it.
Okay. Yeah, and it's like this doesn't have to look like anything.
No,
because it's all gonna become like sort of one thing, like a layered.
Yes. Can I borrow that wet towel?
Absolutely.
That's the thing about baking too. Baking is it's you have to be patient because you can't get the results right away. Like if you're gonna saute something, you know in a couple minutes how it's gonna taste, what it's gonna look like. But baking is there's so many different components, and it's just.
And then you really don't know until
it's finished.
Yes. I know. That's why I'm not a baker.
Well, if you're like me, when it comes to the oven, I open and close about 20 times, and I mess it up.
If my girlfriend's told me once, she's told me 1,000 times, you cannot open that when you're baking something. And it's like for me, I just it's a patience thing, and then also too just. Like you said, like that idea of like, I can taste as I go when I cook on the stove top.
Yes.
And so I know how to adjust as I go. The idea that I've got something in the oven, I'm going to have to wait a half hour, plays on every one of my control issues.
I get distracted easy too. If I put something in the oven, I don't want to walk away and forget about it.
Right.
So, I mean, when you're cooking, it's there, and you're there, and you're in the now.
And it does take you a while to get that off your hands.
It does. It's a battle. Let's hope it's worth it, though.
Yeah, I've got another clean one here if you need another clean one.
Thank you. I'll save this one for later, actually.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and grab a wooden spoon.
Great.
And then what I'm going to do is just kind of just press it in.
And like I said, it's just it doesn't have to be anything. Because and actually sort of the peaks and the valleys is what you're sort of looking for, right?
Exactly.
Because you don't want you're going to take this out by just kind of, I would imagine, scooping it. It's
it.
not getting cut or anything like that.
No, essentially this is meant to be delicious, messy. It's supposed to look like grandma made it.
Right, so you actually want variance in there because if you made it too uniform, it would be too much of one thing in a bite.
That's kind of what Demi's goal is at A19 too. She wants the food there to feel comforting. She wants to feel like you're coming over her house to have dinner at her home. Okay. But you're at the restaurant, obviously.
Right.
So I got this spread out nice. It looks good.
Perfect.
It's really good.
Cool.
I like crust. Anytime I have peach cobbler, I love crust. So any cobbler, I want extra crust.
Right, right.
Okay, so that's it right there.
Okay.
Okay.
Very nice.
So next for us.
I'll get this out
Thank
of
you.
the way.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
So the next task for us, we're going to do the filling, and this is the easy part.
Okay.
It's just going to be cherry filling.
And this
again,
is just canned cherry filling.
yeah, and it's just pitted cherries with sugar and cornstarch
Cornstarch,
and a little
right.
water, and that's why it's so thick. So,
And yeah, and it's one of those things where if you were to make, if this were to be completely scratch made, this would be the component that would have you pulling your hair out.
yes.
And it would start with having to pit, like, what do you think is in there? Like 700 cherries?
Yes, if I get frustrated after pitting 2 cherries, I couldn't do
The
it.
worst.
Yeah, we would have to just maybe do a peach cobbler then.
And then the other thing too is, it would be really hard, like with a homemade version, to like stabilize this. I'm sure for
Yes.
the oven, because once it got into the oven, it would probably fall flat or separate.
Yes, yes.
So what are we going to do with this?
So what we're gonna do with this? It's already sweet, but we're just gonna add a little more sugar.
What the heck?
Why not? And you'll see why later. We're gonna serve it up with something really creamy, and they'll kind of balance it out. So we want it to be on the sweeter side.
Okay.
The crust doesn't have any sugar, so we want it all to play together. So we want
Oh,
this.
I get it.
Yeah.
I
So
get it.
exactly. So I'm just gonna put this in here. Okay.
And this is just, like I said, it can be purchased at any store.
Yes. Yes.
How much filling do you have there?
I have about 2 quarts of filling, so 8
We're not-
cups. All right, and we're gonna add some sugar.
And you could do this to taste as well.
Yeah,
you
you
want
can
to
do it
lessen
to
that,
taste,
that's
yes.
fine too. And we're just heating that through so that the sugar dissolves.
Yep. It's already getting thicker and glossier.
Yeah, now you can see it.
Oh man, I can't wait.
Yeah, this with like some whipped cream or some ice cream, I'm thinking.
Yes.
Beautiful.
All right. So that's already done. So
Great. So this now goes into here.
yes, and I'm just gonna put it right over here.
What other desserts do you guys have at Hey 19?
We do a really good brioche bread pudding there, served with a mascarpone, and it's served with some caramel sauce. They also have a hot fudge brownie, really simple with vanilla ice cream, but delicious. It's probably one of the most popular ones there.
Okay.
We have the cherry crisp brown, and right now we're working on some other stuff. We have some new menu items that are going to be coming out within the next couple months. So dessert is something I do want to focus on. But the cherry crisp brown, and I'm not just saying it because it's named after me, is probably the best one and the most popular one.
Really?
Yes, by far.
Oh, I can't wait.
All right, let me just throw it on there. So, see what I'm doing? I'm just kind of spreading it out evenly.
Yeah, right.
You can even give it a little shake.
And now it's. I've noticed, like, in terms of ratio-wise, you have a little more filling than you do
Yes.
the dough or the batter.
You want the filling is kind of the lead singer, the cherry crisp brown. So we want to make sure there's a good
crisp
amount
brown.
of cherries, and the cherries are fantastic. So we want people to get more of the cherries, just as much as the crust, but we want the cherry to be the show.
Understood.
So that's why it's so much cherry filling in there too.
Understood. So what happens at this point now?
So now this is going to go in the oven.
All right. And how hot oven?
350 for about 20 minutes. We'll peep at it for 20 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes. We're just looking for it to just be warm. And
Why not get that in there?
Yes.
That's heavy. All right. And we have another one in here that we've sort of baked off already that we are going to take out. Grab my, here we go. All right. Oh, yeah. Oh, my. Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, and I love how the crust underneath rises up. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Now, we're going to take a break because on the other side, we are going to make the streusel topping
Yes,
that
we
goes
are.
on top of
Yes.
this, correct?
Yep.
Perfect. We'll get cleaned up here, and we'll come back and do just that.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back. Don't go away. Welcome back to Community Cooking. I am in the kitchen today with Chef Cris Brown, and we are making a dessert called Cherry's Cris Brown.
Cherry's Cris Brown, yes.
Yes, and if you weren't with us for the first segment, he did not name this dessert after himself.
No, most people say, "How dare you?"
right, a little self-serving.
Yeah.
But no, it was actually the owner of Hey 19, where you work,
Yes.
Demi Stevens.
Yes.
This is her dessert, and you loved it so much, she paid you homage by naming it after you.
We turned into a currency, yes.
Yes, you learned how to make this a
Yes.
currency. Okay, great. So what's happened is we made our crust, and we topped that with our cherries. We baked that off in the oven, and as you can see here, the crust did its thing. It's poking up through, and that's a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
So if this wasn't enough, we are now going to make a streusel topping.
Yes, we are. Okay, so for our streusel topping, kind of the same ingredients we've been using.
Okay.
Which helps at home. That's less buying you have to do at the
Correct,
market. So
yeah.
again, we have our almonds.
Okay.
We have white sugar, vanilla extract, pound of butter, and then we have our instant biscuit mix.
Okay, so that's not AP flour. That is the same mix that we used on the bottom.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Perfect.
Okay, so we're gonna add our flour.
And I would say probably out of all these ingredients here, one of the most important is using like real vanilla extract.
Yes, real
right?
vanilla extract. Yes,
Not the imitation.
No,
it's
no.
awful. You can taste it from like around the corner.
It doesn't taste good at all. It can ruin a whole dessert.
Yeah.
So we're gonna add our sugar too. Okay. And you know the rules of baking: dry, wet, separate.
Right.
So we're just gonna mix our sugar.
Right. So what he's referring to here, he's got his dry ingredients in the bowl, and he's bringing those together first before he brings in any of the moisture.
Yes.
Laden ingredients.
Yes, and we have gloves.
Yes, and we got a little bit smarter over the break. We went and dug up some gloves for him, so you're not wiping your hands for a half hour.
Exactly. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add my sliced almonds.
Okay. All right. So, do you make a lot of desserts at home, or is that not really your thing?
That's not really my strong point, but it is fun. It is fun. Yeah, that's. I'm a cupcake person. I like to make red velvet cake.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got a KitchenAid as a gift, so I have to utilize it now.
Right.
I almost feel like someone was telling me something.
Yeah. Right. Make some more desserts.
All right, so we got that nice mix. So
Okay.
now we're gonna add our butter.
All right. I'll bring this closer to you.
Thank you.
And once again, unsalted butter.
Unsalted butter, yes.
I mean, you never really ever want to bake or even cook with salted butter, right?
No.
Do you ever do? Is there any?
I can't think of the last time I cooked with salted butter. Maybe when I make grilled cheeses, but
You know, I'm the last time I cooked with like salted butter was like when I went camping, and that's all they had.
yeah,
You know?
salted butter really ruins the vision. It's seasoning that you don't expect.
And it doesn't allow you to control the salt.
Absolutely.
And you know, chefs are control freaks, right?
Yeah, we are. I want to. Yeah.
Proud to admit it.
Yes. Okay. So then, last, our vanilla extract.
Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be good. That's gonna really give it that extra note that it needs. Actually, just throw that away.
So then I'm going to go ahead and mix this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get it to look crumbly, and we're going to put it on top of the cherries and stick it back in the oven.
Okay. Yeah, just, I mean, you know.
You can start to see it kind of crumble.
And it's fun. I mean, you could always change this up and make this apple. You could make this peach.
Yes, absolutely. I love peaches. Stay seasonal.
Right, yeah, right?
Yeah. Seasonal cobbler. There
Yeah, I
you
like
go.
that. I like that idea a lot.
Okay, so
Blueberries,
I'm gonna go
anything.
Easy cleanup this time.
Beautiful. All right, and I'm going to bring this back over to you.
All right. Nice and I love almonds.
And once again, nothing purposeful here. It's all sort of like random and scattered.
Freestyling, I guess, would be
Yeah.
the best way.
You know, when you make things uniform, you have to be perfect.
Absolutely.
Because
yes.
if you're going for uniform, and that's like plating or anything, you know, if you're going for uniform and it's off, it's like it's just not right.
There's a purpose for being uniform. That's what they
Right.
call uniform. Everything needs to go together well. However the vision is, follow the vision.
Right. But something like this, it's just, have at it. Oh, it's going to be great. I see what's happening here now, too. Because you're going to have the crust from the bottom that's poking up that's going to continue to get a little darker. This is going to be a little bit more blonde and going to kind of join it. And you got all that delicious cherry filling right in the middle.
And I think that's good.
Good. Okay, so back in the oven it goes?
Back in the oven it goes, yes.
And is it the same? It was, how much?
350, yeah.
350?
The entire recipe will be for 350 degrees, yes.
350
so
degrees.
So you're going to put that in
there
until it turns brown. I say about 10 minutes, it'll brown up, yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, let me get that back in. And then we can get cleaned up and take a little break, come back, have some dessert.
Awesome.
Sound good?
Yep.
All right, don't go away. We'll be right back.
Listen.
All it took was someone who would insist that I just try.
Suddenly, everything was turned around because they judge you.
You tell them, I don't need this.
No one is going to understand.
Unless they've been through it, how can they?
Then one day you realize,
You feel so hopeless.
I need help. I need help.
You feel so hopeless.
Then one day you realize,
Unless they've been through it, how can they understand?
I don't need this.
No one's going to judge you.
suddenly everything was turned around because they insist that I just try.
All it took was someone who would just...
Listen.
I need help. I need help. I know that no one is going to judge me for having a problem. I realize that I'm not perfect.
Welcome back to Community Cooking. I'm in the kitchen today with Chef Cris Brown, and we are about ready to pull the cherries Cris
Yes,
Brown
we are.
out of the oven.
Yes,
Shall
we
I?
are. Shall.
I can't wait to see what this looks like. We created our crust and our filling, and then we topped it with our streusel, and would you look at that?
Wow. See, I always get nervous because we were just talking about earlier about baking. When you put something in, you don't know what it's like. It's, Once you stick it in the oven, it's 50-50, good or bad.
Well, will you do the honors?
Of course, yes.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's nice and gooey. Get some of that bottom crust.
Yeah, you can smell the vanilla, too.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, I actually brought some whipped cream, too. I think it pairs perfectly.
And I do enjoy whipped cream.
So, this is just heavy whipping cream and vanilla, powdered sugar.
Okay.
All right.
That's a little warm still. All right, let me move this
Okay.
towards the side. There we go. And
There you go.
the time is here. Let's see here. All right, got to get a little bit of everything in the bite, you know? Oh, my goodness. Yeah, you know what? It's not too sweet.
Right? All the sugar we put in.
Yeah. You know what? Uh-huh. You got a cup of coffee, too? This is so good. This is really good. And the almonds.
The almonds.
That is key. Because it's really giving it a nice crunch to it.
Yes, and anything sweet with that hint of nuttiness. I mean, I think nuts go well with any dessert, whether it's a cheese board or something like this. I think nuts kind of bring everything back together.
That is so delicious. Like, I want to just keep eating it. Can I?
Oh, of course, yes.
Perfect, but I know we're probably running out of time. Cris, thanks so much, man.
Thanks for having me back.
Really appreciate you coming back. We're going to do it again.
Absolutely.
Awesome,
Thank you.
And this just goes to show you, we really are cooking with some of the best chefs from right here in our own community. On behalf of myself, the crew, Cris Brown, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. I'm going back in.
If you'd like a copy of the recipes seen on this show, send us a self-addressed stamped envelope to the Office of Cable and Community Relations. That's 3350 Civic Center Drive, Suite 200, in Torrance, California, 90503. Be sure to note the show number displayed on the screen. And don't forget, you can find all the fresh ingredients used on today's show at the Farmers Market. Visit the one here in Torrance at Wilson Park. That's located at 2200 Crenshaw Boulevard. They're open every Tuesday and Saturday from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m., rain or shine. And if you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us at communitycooking@torranceca.gov and check us out online at youtube.com/TorranceCitiCABLE and like us on Facebook at Community Cooking TV.